Welcome back everyone to Spyrothon 6. Next up we have Ebbe with Spyro Heroes Tale 40 Dark Gem. It's going to be an absolutely awesome run on the GameCube emulator, and obviously this was released in 2004. It's probably one of my favorite Spyro games, so I'm going to be really excited for this. I hope all of you lot in chat are too. So Ebbe, I am going to leave it straight to you then, mate. Take it away.
Alright, so time normally starts when you gain control, but I'm gonna start right now, so 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Alright, so this is Spyro Heroes Tale 40 Dark Gem. So what does 40 Dark Gem mean? Well, in this game there's like an evil red guy who's putting rocks in the ground that makes everything evil. That's basically the plot. And there are 4 realms in the game. And there's one boss in each realm. And in order to break the barrier that blocks you from the boss, you have to break 10 dark gems in that realm. And in any percent you can just skip directly to the boss, but here we have to break the boss barrier, which requires 10 dark gems. So in order to get to those 10 dark gems as fast as possible, we're basically going to completely ignore the intended sequence of events in this game. We're going to completely break all the levels. This game is very broken, as you will soon see. And all the cutscenes are unskippable, unfortunately. So we're gonna try to avoid as many as we can, but we can't really do much about the ones that we have to watch. There's a cool cutscene skip trick that we can do later. But that's it. Alright, so the run is going to start off by me collecting a few gems. We're going to need gems later in the run, but the run is going to start off with a trick called double jump skip, which is a bit of a misnomer right now, because we're actually going to use it to get double jump as fast as possible, because you need double jump in order to break these dark gems. And it's the hardest trick in the run. It's much harder than it looks, and the first part of it involves a trick called the first trick involved in double jump skip is one called wall grinding, where you can basically just ascend any wall you want. Well, not any wall. It's like there's only specific walls that you can grind up. You'll see it. It's in a few seconds. As you can see, I'm grabbing a few gems here. And here we go. Alright, that was a bad start. Yeah, so I have a backup save for this if it goes wrong. Because it can take a long time if you fail it. So let's get over the wall here. That's our goal. Oh. Come on. I don't know. Come on. Yeah. So it can take quite a while. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can do this. So now we're gonna hit the water under here. So we can swim in air. That's a pretty common glitch in Spyro games. We can just swim in the air. And but we're immediately gonna lose swim when we talk to this guy, Elder Thomas. He's gonna give us double jump. And we can then use that to destroy the dark gems. So that trick, the wall grinding trick, is much easier to do with double jump. And that's part of the reason why that trick is so hard. The hardest in the run. But now we have double jump, and so everything regarding wall grinding should be very easy. I could explain wall grinding like later in the run, but right now I have a bunch of other stuff I need to talk about. So we need to get the dark gems, obviously, but we also need to get light gems. Because you need 8 light gems to get the ball gadget. Ball gadget is like a thing that you have to get in to like reach certain areas. And in this case, we need 8 light gems to activate the ball gadget, so we can. Oh, oops. Yeah, you have to be careful not to horn dive. We have to like get 8 light gems to activate the ball gadget so that we can access Dragonfly Falls. which is the third level in this realm, that is. And you will see in a bit why we have to get 8 light gems for that, and we can't just skip it. This game is very, very broken, you will see. Alright, so we're gonna use another wall grind here, just to get over to this ledge, instead of having to go all the way around, and then we're gonna do a ledge clip to get through the wall here. And we're gonna hit the water again, so that we can swim out of bounds again. Alright. So we just got our first light gem. Now normally here I would grab a checkpoint, and after I am done with the second level, Crocodile Swamp, I would death warp back to Dragon Village. But that is incredibly risky if you die in Crocodile Swamp, because then you have to go all the way over there again. So for this Spyrothon I'm just gonna do a safer strat. Where I just teleport back. But that, unfortunately, involves a very long cutscene. Alright, there we go. Sometimes areas can be pretty tricky to load because you have to swim very close to the tunnels in order to like hit the loading triggers. So we're gonna grab a bunch of light gems here again. Ow. Bonking is back in full force. This game has bonking as well. So there we go. Now we're going to go over to the Elder's house. We don't need the ability that he gives us, which is pole spin. We just need the dark gem that's in front of his house. Down here I am going to buy a key. We're going to need that key to get a light gem later on. And just because I'm a bit short on gems, I'm going to go down here and get a few on here. There we go. It wastes a bit of time, but because I'm doing this safe strat, I need some extra gems. We're going to not talk to this guy. Let's go around here, do another ledge clip. And just gonna... there we go. Good. Normally we would do like some fancy stuff to avoid the checkpoint here, so that we don't... that we could death warp back to Dragon Village, but that's not possible here, because I'm doing a safe strat. So I'm just gonna go here. So this is the trick that it's very easy to die on, but I didn't die. That's good. Now, after we get this final dark gem over here in Crocodile Swamp, we will go over to the moneybags pad, or shop pad, and the game will give us a long cutscene explaining what those things are. Unfortunately, but it would allow us to just teleport back to the main shop.
This is a remote shop, man. You can get things here for the same price.
Alright, so now we're gonna go to Dragonfly... wait, no. Not yet, because we have some stuff to get in Dragon Village still. Also, we did not open the door to Moneybags' shop because we did not actually do anything that the intro required us to do. So it's still closed, but of course we do have the wall grinding glitch, so we can just get out that way. We're gonna do that twice. So now we're gonna head over here. Thing about chests is when you activate it, Spyro will try to walk to a specific spot. The same goes for talking with NPCs. So it's actually much faster if you can like hit that spot that Spyro will try to walk to, so he will just stand there and the cutscene will happen immediately. It's a small optimization. It's another normally you're supposed to raise some wooden platforms here. We're not gonna do that obviously. So what you just saw in that other hut is a dragon egg. We're not gonna get any dragon eggs in this run. They're completely useless. Unless you want to go for like secrets or unlockables and such. You could play as different characters, I guess. Not really, it's just a model swap, but yeah, screw those. Alright, here we go. As you can see, this is much easier with double jump. Alright, so we're gonna go around here. And we're just gonna... There we go. So we just skipped the whole cutscene of the ball gadget being activated. So you might be wondering, why did I collect 8 light gems instead of just doing that? Well, you will see, like, well, not, you won't see, but like when we exit this ball gadget, if you don't have 8 light gems, the game will just soft lock. I don't know why, and that's a shame, but it makes it so we have to collect 8 light gems. So here we are at Dragonfly Falls. And the first bit of this level is gonna go pretty much exactly as intended, but then quickly not. No, I don't need any other light gems in this. This is the only time we will need light gems. So the rest of this run is just gonna be get to the dark gems as fast as possible, and then break the boss barriers. So here, right after I destroy the dark gem in here, it's kind of a weird thing. So if I hold back at the very end of this cutscene, Spyro and the camera will be facing the exit. Though if I time it well, I can be facing the exit immediately. So we're gonna go up here. This is where we divert from, you know, the intended path. If I could get this going. There we go. And we're gonna hit this water. And now we're swimming in the air again. Alright, so another way to lose swim, other than getting into cutscenes, is to die. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna grab this checkpoint, and then die immediately. There we go, and we're gonna turn back and get one of the last dark gems, well, the last dark gem in the level, which is the one behind this rock. You're not supposed to access it from this way, but, you know, we are epic gamer speedrunners, so... There we go. And here it's actually faster to quit out and reload the save. After it's done saving, there we go. It's faster to reload your save file than dying. We don't play as Hunter at all, sorry. Yeah. There is pretty much no reason to do so. I will explain that in more detail when we get to the third realm, where an entire level is dedicated to him. I'll explain why we skipped that. Anyway, so we're gonna do a tricky little walk around over there, so we don't have to use the cannons to destroy it. And we're gonna get this dark gem over here, and then we are actually done with this realm in terms of dark gems. We just need to defeat the boss. Get to a shop pad as soon as possible so that we can teleport back. And to do that, we're just gonna go through this wall, as you do. And there's a shop pad right down here. There we go. The level hasn't even loaded yet. There we go. Alright, and again, we have not opened the main shop. So we're gonna have to walk around to get out again. Now we're gonna break the boss barrier, part of the requirement. There we go. And during this cutscene, you can actually move before it ended, which is weird. Oh, and there's Red Spyro. His name is Flame, but I call him Red Spyro because that's what he is.
Spyro.
This is the only time we're gonna see him.
Force field has disappeared. I thought I was gonna be trapped in here forever. This way leads to
Alright.
Nasty's lair. Now go and run.
There's another dragon egg, we're gonna ignore that. And now on to Gnasty Gnork. He is back for some reason. Because I guess they didn't really have the budget to think of new villains. I don't know. This boss fight is pretty uninteresting most of the time. It's mostly just, you know, getting hit to cancel some of his attacks and just hitting him as fast as possible. And again, all cutscenes are unskippable. So we might sit here for a while, but
Spyro. It's been a while
also
since I last
after you hit him 3 times, which is a phase, there are 3 phases in a boss fight, and there are 3 hits for each phase.
Really?
After each phase, he says like, "Oh, you've defeated me," which makes no sense.
I guess it really has been a
So
while.
yeah, that's pretty funny.
Are we
Right?
gonna do this thing?
You're
or
supposed to
what?
burn his butt to defeat him. There we go. And he's gonna do like a triple slam attack. We're gonna cancel that by jumping up into his cane as he does it. There we go. And now he's gonna do like a whirlwind attack. There we go. He's gonna do the triple slam again. We're gonna cancel it again. If I do this right, you'll only ever see the triple slam like once in this boss fight. No, I'm actually gonna intentionally take a hit here. Yeah, I wish you could skip the cutscenes. Unfortunately, you can't. So, I intentionally took a hit here, so I'm on 1 HP now, so I can die immediately when I respawn by just hitting his cane. There we go. What that does is it skips the first triple slam attack in this phase. Ah, damn. Okay, that was dumb. That's like the rock shower attack. I'm supposed to hit his cane there as well. But yeah, I skipped the triple slam thing, but now I only have like 3 hit points to spare, and he has 2 triple slams and 2 rock shower attacks left. So I'm gonna let him do 1 triple slam at some point. I'm gonna cancel his rock shower as well. There we go. There we go. So I'm gonna let him do an attack here, just so I can save that hit point for the longer attack, which is the rock thing. And just to pass the time, I'm gonna wall grind up these walls. You can't get over the walls, but if you get too far away, the boss just stops. There we go. I'm gonna pray to not get hit here. It's pretty rare that I get hit in these, but it is possible, so try not to do that. Alright. So now he's gonna get real mad. Say that I've beaten him again, which I haven't yet. And he's gonna get so mad that he's gonna activate his electric powers. Cool stuff. Again, because I am in 1 HP, I can die immediately here. And just skip his first triple slam thing. 10 dark gems so far. He's gonna do this sappy thing. This is like the quickest phase because you only have like a few attacks. Right, so there's a butterfly here. Whenever you die in a boss, the game will like compensate by giving you a butterfly on the stage. Right, this attack under or over under charge. You might also notice something pretty annoying with the Spyro's movement in this game. Sometimes he will just like randomly do a 360, he will just spin around. I have no idea why it happens, but it's something you just have to accept, I guess. Alright, there we go. Nasty's done for. So now we're gonna get electricity. Electricity has a further reach than fire, but it takes longer to defeat enemies, so we pretty much stick to... if we want to kill enemies, we just stick to flame breath. But electricity can be useful to stun enemies. If they're in our way and are about to attack us, we can just stun them and run past them. So it is pretty useful a lot of the time. So, right after this cutscene, I'm gonna try to do what I call cavern skip, or platform skip, whatever you want to call it. Normally you're supposed to use electricity to activate this platform to get across this cavern, because, you know, the bridge was destroyed. But I'm gonna try to do some tricky wall grinds here. Get around here. I've been practicing this a bit. So normally usually we thought that we couldn't do this because the next area would not load. But I found that if you just like did a wide glide out, you know, like that, we could hit the loading trigger and still make it over. So there we go. Battery's not included. Nope. And Red Spyro is gone, and we will never see him again. Right, so now comes a very long row of cutscenes. Yeah, new tricks. This has not been done in any runs before this. I'm gonna do a few ones as well. Red Spyro is gone on this. Alright, so I guess I can explain wall grinding. So when you tap charge in the air, Spyro will do like a little, charge downwards, and then after a while he will stop.
Yeah, Moneybags teleporter is smaller.
Gonna teleport to the next realm here, and that's gonna trigger another cutscene. So when you tap charge, he does this little charge thing. If you hold down the X button while you do that, Spyro will jump on the very next frame that he's able to. And if you do that down a wall, and you also keep the analog stick neutral, and you hold down the X button, Spyro will sometimes jump off that wall, like without having ground below him. I don't know why that happens, but it's a very, very useful trick. And pretty much, I think it reduced like the 80% category to like from 140 down to like 30, 35. It's insane. You can skip so much with it. So it doesn't work with all walls. It's mostly like overhangs, like walls that curve into ceilings. Those do not work. I'm guessing that the game has to like register some sort of surface beneath Spyro. I guess that's it. I don't know. So right after this cutscene, I'm going to clip through the wall, get swim in air. Who would have guessed it? And we're gonna go to one of the 2 side levels in this realm, Sunken Ruins. And we're gonna get all the dark gems that we need there. And then we're gonna go to Cloudy Domain, which has banging music. We're gonna get all the dark gems there, and then we're gonna fight a Neptune. Yeah, the usual. Alright. So this can fail pretty miserably. Darn, English. And also the game can crash. I should probably have mentioned that. The game can actually crash. But we will pray that it doesn't. GameCube has a tendency to crash quite a lot for some reason. What am I doing? Did I just... Alright, so I just I just softlocked myself. So I'm gonna save my file so that we don't have to watch that cutscene again. But I'm gonna quit and reload. That's a bit unfortunate, but it's not too much of a loss. Yeah, if I hadn't saved, the professor would have given that long talk again, which would have been painful. But now we can just... I'm gonna hope the game doesn't crash. Oh, and we got it. So now we're through the wall. GameCube is not the fastest way. No, that would be the original Xbox. Oh jeez, it's so thick. Oh jeez, I can feel the. Yeah. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna have to reset some stuff in OBS here. Properties. There we go. There we go. Sorry. Right, things should be good now. That was a very lovely sound. So now the game crashed. So it doesn't lose much time. We just have to watch. We just have to reset the game. Yeah. But yeah, the fastest version is the original Xbox, shortly followed by the Xbox 360 port. Or not port, just backwards compatibility version. I hope the stream's okay. So we're gonna try this again. But because I don't really have any way to run this on console, I have to show it off on emulator. And Xbox emulation is not anywhere near, good enough to allow for that to happen. Come on. This is not gonna be the trick that fails me over and over again. Come on. Right. So, my PB in this category is like 117.05. But my estimate is like 135. And you might be wondering why I said it's so high compared to my best. The reason for... Please. Do not crash. Right. I'm gonna pray that doesn't crash here. It's very likely, though. Right, there we go, it didn't crash. So, yeah, this is Spyro not crash. So, yeah. So yeah. Gonna lose swing by entering this shop pad. Destroy this one. So I don't have any way to play on actual console now, so I have to use emulator. What that does mean is that any time I get cannot be accepted on the leaderboards, unfortunately, because emulator does have like slightly different timing than actual console. So it is not allowed on the leaderboards, but for the sake of the showcase, I was allowed to show it right here. Fortunately. There we go. So now we're gonna access Sunken Ruins. This realm, by the way, is the one with the most banger music, and you cannot argue against it. So in Sunken Ruins, we're also gonna... Oh, right, yeah. I was like, in my head I was like, wait, I forgot to explain something, didn't I? Right, so... the estimate is so high because of pretty much what you saw with that crash, right? Because the game can crash at a few points, and also there is a bunch of tricks that if they go wrong, they waste a ton of time. I do have backup saves to like help with that, but yeah, it's I got a really bad run yesterday, which is like 125, and even that could have been much worse because they didn't have any crashes. So what I'm trying to say is like there's a huge the time that you get is has a huge variance. So you could get like a 117, and the moment later you can get like a 127 or something. Alright, so now we're gonna get swim in air again. There's a lot of water in this level, fortunately, but we're gonna get it from like a puddle, only put there as like decorative level and part of the level. So here is a puddle here, and we're gonna clip out of bounds, and we're gonna use that to swim in air. Okay, let's clip. I could not. Oh wow. Okay, I got a bit disoriented there. There we go. We're gonna go back. There we go. Now we're out of bounds again. And we're gonna attempt to aim for the dark gem, which is over here. Ah, alright. I've never had it like show the level before like that. It's pretty useful, so I could aim myself. Right, so there's a puddle here as well, which I can use to lose swim. There we go. We have one more dark gem in this level. I'm also playing on NTSC, which is slightly faster, I believe. Right, so the reason why emulator is not allowed on the leaderboard is basically because loading times and the lag is not accurate to console. I think emulator would end up being faster, so it's definitely not allowed. Alright, see ya, Crappy. So now we're gonna activate the switch, which lowers that statue with the dark gem just a little bit, and we're gonna use that to grab it early without having to... Come on. I suck at this. So without having to grab... without having to hit the rest of the switches. There we go. That's a pretty tight dive.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
And now we're done. Just to quickly get back up again, we're gonna have to... Oh, that's bad. We're gonna die here by hitting the water hitbox. And there we go. So now we can go back and teleport.
Go ahead, Spyro.
Manivax's audio overlaps a bit. Right. Now we're gonna do the other half of Coastal Remains, and we're gonna go directly to Cloudy Domain. I think Coastal Remains is like the level that we do the most closest to intended way. And I say that, but we're actually gonna do like this part completely backwards. You're supposed to end up here, but now we're gonna enter this way. Oh yeah, there are crabs in this game. That's as much as I have to say about that. I cannot English today. Holy shit! Right. Gonna get the start game over here, and then that's all for Coastal Remains. There are 3 dark gems in Cloudy Domain. There's an enemy up here, which, okay, he was not alerted, but if he was, I'd have to like stun him to run past. Oh wow, okay. that was pretty bad. I've honestly never had that happen before. I guess this is marathon luck. We're gonna try not to get hit. Go away. We're gonna try not to get hit while we're in Cloudy Domain, because we really want full health when we enter in Neptune. Alright. What more is this to talk about? There's a thing that I've been doing this entire time, called charge jumping. If you're a fan of the original games, you probably already know about that. You charge while you jump. But it actually exists in this game too, probably unintentionally. So when you charge, you can hit jump while you charge, while holding down the charge button. And that will transfer some of the momentum from the charge into your jump. If you let go of charge, or you double jump, or you exit the single jump in any way, then the extra momentum stops. That's like a small optimization that I do constantly. Also, you probably just saw that the emulator actually sped up the game a bit there. I believe that's because Dolphin is not very good at emulating lag. And normally the GameCube would have lagged there, but Dolphin just speeds up the game instead, which is a pretty clear example of why we don't allow emulators in the leaderboards. So now we're gonna skip pretty much to the end of the level, because the a much later part of the level is behind this building, so we can just wall grind around it. Easy. So we don't have to do like this whole long section where you have to like stand on the platforms and make it rotate around on the platforms. It takes a long time. Yeah, this level can be confusing to like a more casual player, but you know, we have routing. Yeah, this level is great. We don't need wing shield at all, so we're not going to talk to the Elder. As awesome as he is. There we go. We're gonna go to the shop pad immediately. Hello, Waffle. Alright, you might have heard the Elder... Oh, whoops. You might have heard the Elder inside that building. We're not gonna visit him. Unfortunately. Alright, so now we have all the Dark Gems. But there is actually a cutscene skip I can do here, and let's hope I get it. If not, I'll just explain it. Basically, we're gonna clip through this wall without activating the barrier. Come on. Oh! I did it! Alright. We're gonna activate the barrier... We're gonna break the barrier from the side, because we're still required to do that, remember? And now, I'm gonna go along here. The game's not gonna crash here. The game never really crashes here, don't worry. Try to load the boss arena. There we go. Alright, so normally this is like a cutscene trigger. You hit the cutscene trigger and the boss starts, but we can just go around the cutscene trigger, and for some reason you can go inside the boss arena, and when you do that, the boss just starts. None of the other bosses do that, but it's very fortunate. Alright. So same with Nasty, I'm gonna get hit by a bunch of stuff to cancel it early on. First with her little breath thing. And then with the lasers here that prop up, and you get hit by it as early as possible. Skipping the unskippable, yes. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess it's like a combination of the fact that Spyro can breathe infinitely in the water, I guess. Right, so now I have no health left, but I still have one hit on her left, so I'm gonna do a trick called the negative health glitch. Let's get it set up here. There we go. So I had no health. I hit the water, the toxic water, which should have killed me instantly, but because the rising platforms cancelled that animation, I continue to live. And that basically lets us skip more of the fight. Well, Spyro Hero's Tale does have sort of defined bodies of water. They do have water hitboxes, which extend down. Gonna suicide here to get full health. They do have like water hitboxes, but if you're in the diving state, or underwater diving state, come on. Spyro will not loose swim when he exits the body of water. Yeah, you might need a mint. That's pretty disgusting breath right there. Spyro can't stand it. So there is actually like a thing you can do when you have no health and you're supposed to like hit her in the last hit on the face. There is a thing you can do to speed that up, even though you can't get hit by her breath. And that is to jump around her. Oh, come on. So that she redirects her breath somewhere else. And you can stand on the other side and just hit her as soon as you can. The timing window for that and negative health glitch is pretty tight. But there's like a kind of setup here you can do, so you don't have to worry. Alright. Those large, like, balls of acid she throws at you can be pretty scary, because they hone in on you, and if you get hit by a single thing in this fight, it's pretty much over, because you have to use every bit of health you get. So yeah, when Spyro is in his diving state underwater, he will not lose swim when he exits the water hitbox. And that's how swimming in air glitches work. The reason why they did that was probably because a lot of the bodies of water in this game are lower down than the water hitbox extends. So the devs didn't want you to just like lose swim at the bottom of a pool. I would not say that, Edo. I don't know everything about this game, no. I would like to, though. These small balls are pretty, These small balls are pretty easy to avoid. I wouldn't even see almost everything. There's still so much to learn about this. Right, last one. Alright, we might actually get a perfect Neptune. I haven't failed a single one of these. But we'll see. She can throw like a huge one at me, and that will be the end of it. This game does not let me. Alright. So a funny thing about that cutscene we skipped, the trigger that we just went around, it's still there. So after we beat this boss, we can actually go trigger the intro cutscene to this boss again. Just to avoid that, and also because it's faster, we're just gonna clip out of bounds and swim all the way to the teleporter and get to the next round, as you do.
Okay, see, now you're just overacting.
Alright, water breath. It is immensely useful, of course. And by that I mean it's used for a few puzzles and nothing.
Oh, cool, another brick.
I would not restart the boss fight, no. As soon as it's over, you would just like spawn in the middle platform and the boss would be dead. Right, so here we go. I'm gonna do a glitch called, I don't know what it's called, but I call it corner clipping, I think. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. Yeah, corner clipping. So basically you swim up into a corner and you flick the analog stick up as soon as you reach the surface, and Spyro will sometimes clip through the wall. It's pretty inconsistent, but you'll get it after a few tries. Well, there is actually one segment where I use the water breath for something else, and that's in the red boss, in order to, like stun him. We'll see about that. First, we're gonna go to this realm. So this realm has 3 levels: Frostbite Village, which is the one you start in, Gloomy Glacier, and Ice Citadel. So the story goes that Spyro gets captured at some point in Frostbite Village, and then Hunter has to go through his entire level in Gloomy Glacier. And then he rescues Spyro, and he continues in Ice Citadel. But because you only play as Hunter in Gloomy Glacier, there are no duck gems in there. And so, we're just gonna completely skip that level. You're normally not supposed to access Ice Citadel right after Frostbite Village. But of course, this is a hero's tale. We can do that. And yes, I do actually need water breath for a few things. So the professor's audio got delayed a bit. So we didn't get to finish his sentence, unfortunately. So you need supercharge to get through this reinforced door. Oops. But of course, wall grinding can get you anywhere. Here's water breath. Useless. This is pretty scary because I only have 1 hit point left. There we go. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna get up to that cannon. We haven't really used cannons in the run before. That was the cannon. Alright. So now we're gonna get into the an area where there's a bunch of icicles that fall from the ceiling. And we're gonna use those as platforms. Some people have trouble with these. They're pretty easy though. Oh, oops. And we're just gonna suicide because that gives us full health and also respawns us back at the ferry here. And now we're gonna clip into Phil's area, and I call it Phil's area because there's a guy called Phil outside a gate that leads to the area we're about to clip into, and we have to do like a little mini game to get in there. It's kind of annoying. So we're just gonna clip in this way. All my homies hate Phil. Exactly. Alright. So we're gonna get over here. Be careful not to get into this room. Also because there's a checkpoint right outside the entrance to Phil's area, so we're just gonna try to get around that by doing this. So we're just gonna suicide to get back. Alright. We're gonna get a few more things in Frostbite Village, and then we're gonna go directly to Ice Citadel.
Feel free to browse my fine wares.
And I have like an alternate route here that I don't really know if it's faster or not, but I'm gonna do it anyway just because it looks cooler. Gonna walk around to get up here. Alright, that was pretty slow, but there we go. Alright, so inside that cave is Blink the Mole, everyone's favorite character. If you're doing 100%, I pray for you. He's pretty horrible. It's pretty scary as well. So there's one Doctim left in this realm. Yeah, 100% is the God character category. It takes like 3.5 hours. I don't want to bother learning the run. 40 Dark Gym is like a nice middle ground between 80% and 100%. So why did I not do any percent? Well, because 40 Dark Gem takes longer and is more interesting, but oops. Well, but also any percent is pretty much just cutscenes, because you skip directly to the bosses and you watch all the cutscenes, you know, associated with going to the next realm and such, and it's so much cutscene. More than 50%, yeah. I think Edu actually timed it, like how much cutscene there is in that run. It's ridiculous, but for the Dark Gem, no such issue. That rabbit is always in my way. Any percent is like 35 minutes long. It's really, really unbearable.
Feel free to browse my fine wares.
Right, so now we're gonna access Ice Citadel, which is behind this reinforced door. How are we ever gonna go get on the other side of that? I do wonder. So we're gonna get into like a little secret room here. Well, not secret, but this little room. And there's a very low wall here for some reason. You can just go over it. Yeah. The devs were pretty lax with the whole wall thing. We're gonna avoid talking to the professor there. You can probably tell by the abrupt music change that we're not supposed to enter it this way. And also there's a giant bridge here that we're supposed to open from the other side. Lower from the other side. But of course we're gamers, so we don't do that. There we go. Whee. That's so fun. Alright. So in this level we'll stop to see situations where you have to kill a certain enemy to open the door. So if you see me like killing random enemies for some reason, that's why. I can't just run past them, I have to kill them to open certain doors. There's the Ice Princess. She wants us to light all the boilers. We're not gonna light all the boilers, if you couldn't tell. Instead we're only gonna like light one boiler, which we need to do. Screw the princess, yeah. Who needs that? Spyro is a strong, independent dragon. Right, I'll try to avoid that arrow. Yeah. You've never been there? Alright. Well, you're in for some confusion. Yeah, so... Another hammer guy, I'm just gonna avoid him. So now we're gonna do a pretty tricky wall grind here, off this pipe. There we go. Yeah, we don't need no hunter. Saw you coming. Alright. There's the one boiler that we will light in order to get the platform to come down to us. Boom. Just to kill time, I get all the gems in this room. We don't need it, really. Actually, we do need gems for the butterfly jar. Yeah, I'm pretty embarrassed to admit that I've fallen off this elevator quite often, just because I'm messing around. It's surprisingly easy to fall off. Or maybe I'm just bad at the game, you know. Alright. Enemies everywhere. Alright. This is an instance where we need water, because there's a water wheel here. Gonna do that.
Go ahead, Spyro. If you've got money to spend, I am here to relieve you of the burden.
There we go. And there's another enemy that I need to kill here. I'm gonna use water to do that, because for some reason electricity is kind of bugged in that specific area. I'm gonna use water to stun the enemy and then fire breath to kill it. After I knock its armor off. There it is. So, stun. So we're now gonna hit the Dark Gem as close to the door as possible, so that we don't get to talk to this guy. His name's Aster. He teaches us wall kick. It's actually faster to use wall kick to get up this wall, but because it takes so long to learn it, we just skip him and use wall grinding instead, because that's the only glitch that is. I don't know where I was going with that one, but it's a good glitch. Alright, there's one last Dark Gem here. Just seen him wall grind up to get it. Only you're supposed to use Supercharge. Who has time for that? You need 40 Dark Gems. We're not gonna get 40 Dark Gems. Alright, so now I'm gonna do something pretty interesting. I'm gonna actually skip the cutscene, the intro cutscene to red. I just said that in Neptune is the only boss that you can just like go directly to without watching the cutscene, but we can actually do something pretty fancy here, so watch. I paused. On the same frame I entered the elevator. And so I had two menus active at the same time. So if I exited out of one of them, then the game will unpause, but I still have the pause menu on screen. And what we can use to do that, what we can do to, what we can do with that is to save the game while the cutscene is playing, and then quit, and then reload. And because the game recognizes that we already hit the cutscene trigger in this save, we don't have to watch it again. There we go. Saves like 10 seconds if you do it good, if you do it well. So I'm gonna count here. That was the 6th, 7th, and he's gonna like shoot 9 of these attacks, and then he's gonna spawn a bunch of boxes, which I'm gonna use to attack him. There we go. That's how you damage him. I don't know why he spawns these boxes, because it doesn't really help him. So yeah, that trick is really good. Right, so that was first phase done. If you get a perfect red, this boss is quickly over with, but of course if you miss these boxes, then you will have to do it again. 4, I think, lost count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, okay. So, this phase is kind of annoying because sometimes he can just fly upwards. Right, that was pretty annoying as well. Damn it, okay. That was a really, really bad phase. So yeah, so you saw sometimes there, Red will not take any damage from... Red will not take any damage from the boxes. I don't know why. It's just completely random. Alright, now I lost count, so I'm gonna check where he's a different way. If you walk around it... Oh, okay. Oh, you're serious? Oh my god. That was terrible. Alright. Wish me luck in the next try. 2, 3. It's pretty hard to commentate while I'm counting. 5. Yeah, Red is like the worst boss in this game. 8. 9. And then... Thank you. Alright. Yeah, his name is Red. Even though he's blue. Am I right? Yeah.
Well. You do have a lot of fire in you, but don't think you're any match.
So this phase is pretty damn long. He melts the platform, he regrows the black platform, he does a long laser attack, and then he does the snowball attack. You get bashed around by his tail a little bit. Fun. There is a way to skip this laser attack, but you can only do it if you miss the first try. Ow. Okay, this is bad. Only have 1 hit left. So yeah, that we'll see. If I mess up this phase on the first try, I will try to do the laser skip. I don't know why it's only possible if you fail it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's probably delayed. Sorry. So as you can see, I'm stunning him by spraying water on him, which buys me some time. Alright, I got it first try. That's good. So what would have happened if I failed the phase first try? I would have, right after he regrew the platform, I was gonna make him spin his tail by getting close to him. I am terrible at counting, that is correct. But also I had to commentate at the same time, so it's kind of tough. But yeah, if I had made him attack me at the right time, the lasers would have skipped.
Spyro,
But I got it first try, so
I will now enchant you
I didn't have to do that.
with the power of ice breath.
So now we get Ice Breath, which is the most overpowered breath in this entire game.
Ice breath can be used to
Basically,
enemies.
what Ice
Stop them in
Breath
their
does
tracks.
is that
It can also be used to freeze small water jets or cool down
it freezes enemies, makes them into like an ice block. And you can just charge through them and they die. And that makes killing enemies incredibly quickly very easy. So, Ice Breath is pretty much what we're gonna be sticking to for the rest of this run. Unless there's like some stuff that some specific breath stuff I have to do. There's a little trick we can do here to skip some of the poles. By the way, that's pole spin. Normally, I didn't, like, I forgot that that's the first time you actually see pole spin. You're supposed to learn that in Realm 1, but when you reach Realm 2, or 3, sorry, you get all the abilities that you're supposed to get in Realm 1. That is Double Jump, and Horn Dive, and Pole Spin. I don't know why this happens. Literally no other realm does this, I'm pretty sure. So we just have Pole Spin there. It's we won't really use it again. Or unless I'm forgetting something that we do. Right. So this realm is very linear. There's a bunch of levels in a row.
I believe he has a secret
I can talk about why that is,
somewhere
but
on this realm.
now we're gonna go find Red once and for all,
Gadget.
and we will meet the professor there.
I, being a mole, will dig my way down to Red's lair. Meanwhile,
See if I can find a way into the volcano, or we'll find a way,
volcano.
for certain. So here we go. We're gonna clip out of bounds again. We're just gonna... Yeah. So, you know the deal. Just clip out of bounds, get to the Dark Gyms as fast as possible. You got it right, District. Alright, so now we're gonna see a pretty fun thing. It's called the Water Proxy. Oh wait, oh damn it, okay, I didn't get the high one. So normally, in a Water Proxy, you're supposed to like get shot high into the air. It's the only time you can see it in the run, so it's unfortunate that I didn't get it there, but it's very fun. It's the only proxy in this game, by the way. So, to get swim and air again, which we need, we're just gonna dive underwater here, and there's a small slip of the water here that the devs forgot to put in, so we can just swim around. Convenient. Right, so the next part is something that I also have a backup save. Hello, Vinny. It was something that I also have a backup save for because there's a high chance that the game will crash here. And also it's a very difficult series of movements, or routes, I think. This is basically how a Chinese dragon would fly, yeah. Right, we're gonna activate that shot pad so we can teleport to it later.
Hey, Spyro, you won't
And we're
believe
gonna
what I
swim
just
over
got.
here. Swim in air percent, yeah. We'll also grab a few Dark Gems in there. So we're gonna go to this elevator that goes down to Magma Falls, which is the next level. But we're gonna go down there and activate a shot pad. We're gonna grab a checkpoint up here. And we're gonna go down, and instead of taking the elevator, we're just gonna swim close to the elevator shaft, so that we load the next part of the elevator. And this is where the game can crash, because it overloads the game. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It is unfortunately pretty common. Right, so we're gonna go and activate this shot pad in here. There we go. And that's literally all we came down here for. So we're gonna go down here. I'm gonna slow down a bit because the lava tends to not be loaded in time. So we're just gonna fall through the wall. that wouldn't be ideal. Alright, so we didn't crash. That's good. I didn't have to use any of my saves. So now we have an activated shot pad down there, which means we can go there very quickly after we're done with Molten Mount. Molten Mount, that's called it. We still don't have wall kick, so we're just gonna suicide to get back up again. Now we're gonna go like to the middle of the level. Oh, come on. We're gonna go to like to the middle of the level, of course by going out of bounds. And we're gonna get a dark gem there. I don't think there are any points further in the game where it can crash. So this is like the last risky strat. There we go. We're gonna go to the middle of the level, we're gonna grab a dark gem, and then we're gonna teleport over to that first shot pad that we activated when we first arrived here. And using that, we will grab another dark gem, and that will be it. And then we'll teleport all the way down to Magma Falls, because we also activated a shot pad there, and we'll be good to go. That's a really complicated route, to be honest, but it's pretty cool. Run killers? Well, pretty much always. As I said, there's a large variant in what time you get. What am I doing? I need to activate the shot pad. The final fight with Red is a pretty big run killer as well, because if you fail it, you have to restart the entire thing. There are no checkpoints in that fight, apart from any other fight. I don't know why, but yeah, it's pretty annoying. But I'll explain that when we get there. This is the last dark gem. I will just suicide that so that I get put on the shot pad again, so we can teleport to Magma Falls immediately. Those big rocky guys we run past, those are rock monsters. You defeat all of them to get a dragon egg from Laughing Hyena standing over by the broken buildings. We don't do that, because, you know, dragon eggs are useless. Right, so here we are. And we're done with Magma Falls. Or, no, Molten Mount. My dragon egg. So, you're actually able to enter this ball gadget from out of bounds, similarly to what we did with the first ball gadget. But doing so spawns you in the level as Spyro. So you can actually still beat the level with that, but it's pretty tough, and it's much slower than just doing it with ball gadget. Alright, so these enemies are really annoying, because they can just kill your momentum completely, and they're completely unpredictable. So you just have to get lucky when going past them. And there's an unavoidable light gem, unfortunately, which totals up to 10. You spawn actually below the ground, and you have to like do some very quick wall grinds to get up again. You don't spawn on the track. So now I'm gonna do something frame perfect. There we go. That doesn't save any time, it's just funny. It's a frame perfect trick. There's like a specific frame in Spyro's jump animation where he's invulnerable to lava. And jumping off that platform is like the perfect height so that you can get that. Again, it doesn't save any time, it's just funny. It's useless, but it's funny, so I thought I'd show it. For these lava birds, pretty annoying. So now we are on our way to Dark Mine. It's for swag, it's not useless, yeah. Ah, whoa, okay, that was a high damage boost. I think we didn't need. So now we're on our way to Dark Mine. But to get to Dark Mine, we have to cross these platforms, which can be very annoying. Because you have to like make a very specific cycle to do it quickly. So we're gonna see if I get it first try, and if not, then yeah, it wastes like probably a minute. Come on. Gonna wait a bit. Did I get it first try? I got it first try. That's great. Right, so we're gonna go through this level pretty much as intended until we reach the point where there's a long while until we see any dark gems, so we just skip to the end of the level. We'll see when we get there. So here we go. Kill this guy, we don't want him. The enemies are beginning to get a lot more annoying because now they're robots. These are especially annoying. They're guarding this dark gem, so we have to kill them all. There we go. Oh, darn. There we go. So we're gonna go back and do a fancy skip to the end of the level. Because of course, because we only need the dark gem from there. And then we can move on to the final level. There you go. So we're just gonna go through here. And the last part of the level is right here. Ow, ow. Ah, come on! Alright, well this is a marathon, so of course I have to say that has never happened before. Because it hasn't. Yeah, I got stuck and oh darn. I got stuck on top of his cane, so I just kept bouncing off it and taking damage. Come on. Yeah, this run is pretty damn interesting. I like this. So yeah, also there's like a very annoying thing with Spyro's horn dive and like the wall grind thing. There's one frame in his double jump animation in which he cannot do anything. I'm just gonna take a long way around. There's like one frame in his double jump animation where Spyro is not able to horn dive or able to charge. And I call it the useless frame because it is useless and you can't, it just messes up runs. It's very annoying. It is better. It's better than not. It's better than accidentally horn diving instead of charging there. My English is on point today. So now we're gonna go to the last level, which is Red's laboratory, where he has begun his manufacturing of robots to help in his war against the dragons, I guess. I don't know. The lore is not very important. But this level is pretty cool. It's basically like a central hub with a bunch of areas diverging from it, and we have to like press switches to unlock doors. And I already lost time. So this wall grind, you have to get it in 3 wall grinds, otherwise you've wasted time. And I got it in... Let's see. Alright, well I got it in way too many, so we're just gonna go around the long way. I probably should stop doing that, because I cannot get it to work regardless of what I try. We're gonna activate this shop pad so that we can go back to the central hub immediately. There we go. Any dark gems that, any areas that don't have dark gems, we just like skip as fast as possible. So this laser puzzle is pretty fun. If you do it very quickly, you will have like 49 seconds remaining. So let's see if I can do it quickly. Come on. Hey, I did it! Alright, so that's a sign that you just did it very quickly. That's good. Even casually, that timer is very, very, very lenient. Like, you will, even if you just do it casually, like, you will pretty much have like a half a minute remaining. It's very strange. We're not gonna go into the boss area yet. Because, of course, we need all the dark gems first. Come on. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is a pretty long room, unfortunately. There's not really much interesting to say about it. I guess I can start talking about the final fight. I don't know if there's much to say about that either. But... So as I said before, there's no checkpoints. Actually, no, I should talk about this room. So at the bottom of this room, there's a switch, and when you hit it, this tube gets exposed, and you can destroy the dark gems. But the silly devs of this game forgot to get collision on this top part, so you can just... Whoop. You don't have to hit the switch at all. That's a pretty silly oversight. So yeah, the final boss. There's no checkpoints in the final boss, and it involves a bunch of your breath abilities and...
there you are, my favorite Wally.
Oh, what I'm doing, okay. And... It takes quite a long time, so if you fail it at like the end of the boss, run is pretty much over, but of course this is a marathon, so I'm not gonna reset or anything. So for that reason, I'm actually gonna buy a butterfly jar. The butterfly jar, when you lose sparks, you will get all your health back. And so I'm going to use that for the final boss. Alright, so the laser room, I have to be careful not to get hit.
Spyro, over here.
Ow. I know exactly where all the enemies are going to be, so I can just like freeze them beforehand. That was the last dark gem in the run, so now we're gonna go defeat the final boss. Right, by the butterfly jar, teleport back. And no, we're not gonna utilize that wall. This is not any percent. We have to break the boss barrier. But yeah, I guess I can like show it off real quick because it is very funny. Oh, come on. I don't know why I struggled with that switch. This game was very much inspired by Jak and Daxter, by the way. It's written in the design documents that were leaked for this game. So I guess you're kind of right about that, whoever said that. Just before I go into the final boss, here's the wall that that person meant. We use that for any percent, just to get to the boss immediately. Right. During this little cutscene, when I break the boss barrier, I can move again before the cutscene ends.
Professor, I finally found you. What were you thinking?
Yeah, after this I'm gonna go through the demo real quick and show you some cool stuff in that.
But as soon as I got here, I was
Hopefully the demo does not crash like 20 times. We'll see. Alright, so final boss. So if I hadn't bought the butterfly jar, I would have just suicided like 3 times so that a bunch of butterflies would have spawned on the stage.
Seem to have made things a lot worse.
Hey, don't worry.
But we got the butterfly jar, so we don't have to do that.
How cozy. So,
So now I'm on emulator. I know this kind of looks cheaty, but I have a free cam option, which means I can look wherever I want.
You're not so much of a
And so I just want to show this one funny thing.
Aw, poor naive Spyro.
He's just kind of floating.
Obviously, you know that I always get my way.
Right, that doesn't save or waste any time. It's just funny. Yeah. It's just because I have emulator privileges. There's a bunch of funny stuff like that, but I'm not gonna show it. I want to at least keep this somewhat acceptable as a speedrun. Alright. So I'm gonna get hit by him a bunch of times that I skip a bunch of attacks of his. These mines that he spawns are evil, and I hate them very much. Because if you get hit by one mine, it's basically inevitable that you get hit by another. Right, so the first phase is rockets. Just gonna light all the rockets as quickly as possible. There we go. This is very easy to dodge. Right, sure thing, Phoenix. So here are electric nodes that we have to hit. We have to hit them very quickly, otherwise you have to do it in 2 tries. I mean, it's not too strict on the timer, but you have to do it. There's another example of the emulator speeding up a bit. But these mines are awful. I hate them. Alright, so hopefully we're all to the third phase now. These falling debris is very, very easy to dodge. He's gonna do his nipple missiles. That's literally what they are. So I have 2 hit points to spare, that's very good. I didn't get hit by anything. These, so for this phase, a bunch of guys spawn... Oh jeez. A bunch of guys spawn on the ground and there's like a switch you have to hit to make them attack red instead. I'm also gonna stun this guy repeatedly so that he resets his animation so he can shoot immediately. These guys are very easy to get hit by if you don't hit the switch fast enough. So that's kind of what I'm worried about if I have very low hit health. Here we go with the nipple rockets again. Red has to... Yeah, basically stunning that guy resets his animation so that he will just like immediately shoot his gun again. I'm gonna say when time is, but I know he stopped the timer early. And now would be time, so now we're done. So that was a Hero's Tale 80%.
I fixed the machine, Spyro, so hold on. I'll finish
Yeah.
you off.
All right. So I'm gonna prepare some stuff for the demo. How's Yeah, thank you. How's the stream gonna go? Am I gonna like? Is it gonna go back to the schedule screen?
Get away from me, you!
It was pretty fine. I think at least like a 118.
Oh, no, Spyro, don't do that.
So should I just stop streaming,
Off that easy. I'll take it from
or should I just?
I'm sure I can find a
I'm not sure what to do right now.
laboratory.
All right. So I should just load up EPSXC or PCSX2. An attempt to do this routing. let me just quit out of that, and I'm gonna launch demo. Right, I'm gonna do my OBS settings. Hold on. That's not right. There it is. All right. All right, here it is. I didn't really need 10 minutes. Yeah, this is the menu. You can also play Crash Twinsanity, but you know, we're just gonna play the demo. We don't want to watch the intro movie. All right, so this is the demo, the Crash Twinsanity Spyro Hero's Tale demo disc that was given out at E3 2004. It has a lot of differences to the final game, and also it was put together quite quickly. So I'm gonna start the demo, but it's gonna be kind of different than the demo would usually be, because I have put in a cheat code that allows me to load into Dragonfly Falls. So you might be, if you've played this demo, you might be like wondering, what the hell is this? Like, you're not supposed to enter this level at all. But the reason this level is in the game is because you're supposed to like play Hunter's section of this level. And because the Hunter section is part of this level, they included the entire thing. And so you can explore like an entire early version of this level. Which means there's quite a lot of jank that the devs hadn't ironed out yet. Also, the game tends to corrupt quite a lot, so you can see Spyro doing freeze poses like that. So this is the earliest demo, which means quite a lot of stuff hadn't been implemented yet, but also this bunch of very interesting stuff. So I'm gonna attempt to like get around this so I don't overload the game. Oh yeah, but I should probably have mentioned this sooner, but I'm using a moon jump cheat to get around because of the jank. So Spyro will just like ascend when I press R3. Whee. Yeah, sometimes the animations just disable themselves when the game is overloaded. There are no spikes here like there are in the final game. Right, so here, also Zoe looks completely different, look at her. That's not the Zoe I know. So here's a pillar here instead of two rocks. It works the same as in the final game though. There's like a force field around that cannon. Basically, so much is different, I cannot possibly mention all of it. I have made videos about it, so I will plug those at the end, I guess. This area is completely different to the final game. Like, there's so little of this is recognizable. There's no dragon statue here. There's no like waterfalls here or anything. But if you've played this game and you've played Dragonfly Falls, you'll probably know that there's a Sparks minigame in here, and there's like a sign, you go talk to him, and there's very little detail here. You go talk to Sparks, and then you start his Dragonfly Falls with no falls. You go start his minigame. But here, there's something pretty strange, and I cannot really give a good explanation to why this is here. There's like a giant empty cave system thing. It's completely empty. There's nothing in it. But in the final game, there is like a way to activate like a weird control scheme with Sparks, where you have like a full 3D orbital camera. And like you can just move wherever you want instead of on a rail. I have theorized that this is what it was used for, but I have spoken to developers of this game, and they have said that Sparks never really worked like that. So perhaps it's just like some default control thing. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the really exciting stuff. There is a cut enemy in this area. And if you've watched trailers of this game and gameplay videos and all that, you might already know what it is. This is not a dev level, this is just a level that you're not intended to access in this demo. Hunter is over there somewhere. So there's a cut enemy here. And it is a shark. If I can get... There he is. There he is. Say hello. This is the shark. Not at all. Yeah, sheep are walking on the water. I should have shown that. But here are sharks. Those are more exciting. These are not in the final game at all. Oops. They are in a test level in the final game, but they act differently there. So I've spoken to developers about this, and apparently the sharks just proved very cumbersome as a mechanic. Basically, like when you went too far out sea, they would come and eat you, but as you can see, they were very easy to outrun. And I guess the developers just had really a lot of trouble with that. There's another thing I should probably mention here. You probably see this meter over on the right here. That's an oxygen meter. Spyro originally could not breathe infinitely underwater in this game. And you're supposed to like get a gadget called Aqualung, which was cut as well, in order to get infinite underwater breath. And so if I stay underwater for too long, Spyro will run out of breath. Anyway, about the sharks, so later, after this, version of the sharks, they decided to make them a bit more like a barrier. So in the test level, in the final game, you can see the shark like shoot up from below and eat Spyro immediately. So when you get too far out sea, they would just eat you with no chance of escape. So that's like the second revision of that enemy, but they decided to cut it eventually. Oh yeah, about Sparks, he's just completely frozen. He has no animation for being underwater. I should probably also show off some pretty glitchy goodness with this shark. So if I go up... There we go. He's just spinning. He's just vibing in the air. Yeah. So the sharks are very, very broken. Demo. Not finished at all. We're gonna go underwater and you can just see the shark swimming above the water. Yeah, the shark is very unfinished, as you can see. But it is incredible that we're able to like see this cut enemy in the game somewhat functional, despite it being completely cut from the game. Right. Also, as someone mentioned earlier, sheep walking on the water. Because of course. Sheep was like the default fodder before they got other types. You can actually, like in an early screenshot, see sheep being used as fodder in Frostbite Village. Yeah, they're somewhat functional. They can eat you, they can kill you, This shot pad does not work. Alright, so I'm gonna finish this with something pretty speedrun related, I guess, to make this speedrun related. Alright, so normally in the game, when you sheep can eat... No, I meant the sharks. I meant the sharks can eat you. So normally in the final game, when you're moving and you start charging, Spyro will just charge immediately. When you stand still and you charge, Spyro will do this like charge from standstill animation like this. Like, right. But in this demo, he does that no matter what. Yeah, this demo was a challenge to get working without crashing. So that makes charging in this demo very, very clunky. Basically, overall, the controls in this demo are much clunkier than in the final game. So I'm pretty thankful that they, adjusted that. And no, wall grinding does not work in this demo. Also, Spyro can get dark if you stand on the edge here. I don't know why. Yeah, wall grinding does not work. I couldn't tell you why, but my guess is that they adjusted some animation speed. Spyro does stay in the air for a little bit longer when you charge in the air. So wall grinding does not work. I can like show it to you by moon jumping up here. I could try wall grinding of like a wall here. As you can see, it does not work. I'm trying my hardest. Nothing happens. So I'm guessing they like introduced some other mistakes within the wall jumping. Any other levels made? Yes, but a lot of the levels were stripped out of this demo build, of course, because it's a demo. But this level is pretty much like the only one that's you're never meant to access, but like it's in the game in its entirety in its early version. Slip and slide? I don't know what you mean. Right, I'm gonna finish this off finally by showing some more game corruption. Basically, the game overloads itself or something, and all the animations just freeze. And really... All right. Yeah. But before I do this, I should probably like give some epilepsy warning for people with photosensitive epilepsy. I should warn you. Look away now. T-pose Nork. Spyro's not having a good time. Yeah, I felt I was supposed to say that. And Hunter is definitely not having a good time. He's just kind of... And... Oh, jeez. Are you okay, Zoe?
What have you done, Eb? What have you done?
Everything's messed up. I can't explain it. Spyro's shook. And if we talk to Hunter...
Spyro's so shook there.
And...
What's happened?
Yeah. And the game crashed. Because I talked to Hunter.
Oh, man. Well, what a perfect finish to this run. That was an absolute blessing, Ed. Thank you so much for showing that. Especially that shark. That shark was so excited for this. He was like, yeah, you needed to show me. You needed to show me getting out of the water. That was just amazing. Thank you so much, dude.
No problem, dude.
Have you got any other things you wanna share with everyone before we finish up your segment?
Well, most of my public accounts are mostly dedicated to music, so if you want to see anything like Spyro related, more specifically Spyro Hero's Tale related, you can just like look up my YouTube channel. It's also named Ebbe. That's how it's pronounced, by the way.
I'll go and try and look your channel up for you, mate, just so I can share it with everyone.
Sure thing.
Found
it's
it.
the one with the flat Spyro face.
Yep. This link here, I believe. So folks, go and drop Ebbe the follow. Absolutely awesome stuff. We'd love to see more Spyro Heroes Tale stuff in future for Spyrothon with you, dude. It's been absolutely a blast. Brilliant. Thank you so much, dude. And you know, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, man.
Brilliant.
Pleasure to be on here.
Awesome. Right, so next up, folks, we have Legend of Spyro, the Eternal Eye, any % Fury Frenzy with Tris255. So we'll see you all in a very short moment.